Hello everyone, welcome to Yoga with Rebecca Jane, the home of live online yoga, daily online yoga, and I'm Rebecca Jane. So welcome to this class. This is the third class in our strength series. And this one, we're concentrating on our abdominal muscles. Yes, I know everyone's going, yes, I need it, I need it, I need it. We all need some tummy strengthening. The first one, we concentrated on our upper backs, the trapezius muscles, the rhomboids, so the upper back. And today yesterday we concentrated on our lower back and the quadriceps, the bottom muscles. Or the glutes, I'm sorry, the glutes. Where today it's going to be tummies, but obviously all the other muscles are going to be used. But the target is on the tummy. So let's just take a moment here, close the eyes, and let yourself settle in. Begin to connect with your breath. Let yourself move away from any kind of concerns you have. So take your concerns and your worries and your to-do list and just simply place it off the mat. Take it away. Push it away. This is your time to take care of yourself. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And let's gently open our eyes, and we're going to transition onto our backs. Before we transition onto our backs, thinking about transitions, we need to be as aware and mindful as we transition, as opposed to just plopping down. I want you to come off of your cushion if you happen to be on a cushion, and then swing your legs forward and then lower yourself down. So as if everything you're doing has a purpose. So coming onto your backs, and I'll give you the mantra for the day in just a moment. Just let your feet settle on the ground, knees pointing upwards. Place the hands on your rib cage. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, let the tummy pull in. So you're sucking that tummy in, and then inhaling, breathe into that rib cage. And then exhaling, drawing the belly in. Little tiny rock and roll of the pelvis as you inhale and exhale. Breathing into that rib cage through the nose and exhaling through the nose or the mouth, draw the tummy in. Inhaling, breathing and expanding the rib cage, and exhaling, belly pulls in. Gently opening your eyes, and we're going to start with our first abdominal exercise. There's two ways you can do this. One is without supporting your head, where you slide the hands up your thighs. The other one is to take your hands behind your head and cradle your head, especially if you're finding that your neck is beginning to hurt. Either one still works. I'm going to do it with my hands on my thighs. I might have to switch over in a moment. So take a breath in, hands resting on your thighs or behind your head, and chin tucked towards your chest, and exhale, roll up. Slide the hands, maybe they could touch the tops of your knees, maybe not. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift head and shoulders off the ground, slide them up, pause at the top, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Maybe maybe sticking your finger into that muscle, the abdominal muscle, to see if it's actually contracting. Lower down. Inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, lowering. One more time, inhale, lift, and this time I want you to hold. So you might say, I'm going to now place my hands behind my head, support my neck, and then you begin to pulse. So take a breath in and an out, and breathe out, and in and out, in and out, in and out, and in and out. Let's release the head to the ground. Let's hug your knees into your chest. Little rocks from side to side. I'm going to be introducing, we have at least 3 abdominals, maybe 4. The fourth one is the what I call the peak pose, or it's called the peak pose in this class. So I'm not going to tell you what that is, but you will realize once we get there why it's abdominal, but it's also an all-body strengthener. Place your feet back on the ground for just a moment. Now take your right foot up, your left foot up. Create a little 90-degree angle, a tabletop position with your legs. Flex the feet. Knees are aligned with your ankles, and knees are aligned with your hips. They never move beyond your hips. So take your right toe, tap it, and then inhale, lift up, and then exhale, left toe, tap, down. So make sure your lower back is pushing into the ground. There's no space between the ground and your lower back, and that's tap. Inhaling up and exhale. I'll show you some, if you want to shake it up a little bit, you can make this a little bit more challenging. So always inhale, bring back to your base, and then tap and bring back. So exhaling as you tap, inhaling as you lift back up. Now if you want to add, you can actually bring your head up, so you can incorporate the upper muscles of the tummy. And if you want to add a little bit more to the legs, you can extend the legs. So bring them straight forward and then bring them back. And then exhale left and bring back. So you have 3 options here. You don't have to do, and make sure your lower back, if it starts to lift off the ground, then press it back down. If you're finding this is really hard, you can place your hands underneath your lower back, or underneath, your lower back, tailbone space. So little taps, you should feel this starting to work. If you don't, then it's extend the legs. I'll do the more challenging version just in case somebody wants to try this one. And let's do one more set, right leg or whatever leg you're on, and everyone finish with the left leg, and then bring the knees in and give yourself a hug and a little rock and roll from side to side. So our mantra for today is I see good in everything today. So in other words, we spend a lot of time looking at bad things, listening to the news, finding our own weaknesses, things we don't like about ourselves. I don't know, it can go on and on. But we don't spend a lot of time looking at what is good, what's good in our lives. Let's open our legs, come into happy baby. Hands to the inside of the feet or outside, knees are bent. And make sure the knees are outside your shoulders. If you cannot grab hold of the feet, then just wrap your arms behind your knees. You can do it this way. 90-degree angle with those legs. Take a breath in and exhale. Draw the feet down, tailbone down to the ground. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stretch out that lower back by pressing the tailbone into the ground. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's cross the ankles using momentum. Roll all the way up or come to one side. And let's extend your legs forward. Slide your bottom towards maybe to the almost the back of the mat, not quite, and let's fold forward into our forward bend. Take a breath in and take a breath out. So looking for good. Looking for good in our poses, in our practice. You might say, well, I wish I was more flexible, or I can't touch my toes. Well, the fact that you're here and you can actually go as far as you can, that's the beginning. Take a breath in and let's lift up nice and tall. Slide the hands next to your hips until they stop next to your hips, then slide them behind your hips. Bring your bottom and slide it forward, feet flat on the ground, knees pointing upwards, hip distance apart. Everything has to be so detailed, right? Fingertips either pointing towards your bottom or swing them out a little bit to the sides if you cannot do it that way. Squeeze the shoulders, lift your heart. And then exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift, opening, expanding through the chest. Exhaling, bending. So the elbows bend and they squeeze in towards each other, chin towards chest, and then inhale, lift up, opening. Stretching out your lower back now. Exhaling, pulling the belly in, stretching. I suppose you're still stretching out the back, right? And then from here, lift up, and you have a choice to stay down and lift your heart, or lift your bottom off the ground and maybe hover, or lift it as high as the knees, creating that flat plane between the knees, pubic bone, and belly, if possible. Take your hips, lift them up, squeeze your bottom cheeks, working those glute muscles. Take a breath in, and your arms, all this stuff is happening. Upward plank variation. And then lower yourself down, transitioning down. And then sit for a moment and cross-legged and circle your wrists. Take your arms and just loosen them up. And then let's swing around onto our hands and knees. Sit back to our heels. Forehead resting on the ground. So feeling the mat underneath you. And then inhaling, lifting into your tabletop. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, holding the cat shape. And as you hold your cat shape, I want you to look down, look between your legs. Feeling the tummy pull in and up. And then inhaling, curling the toes under, tilting your tailbone, lifting your heart, pressing into the hands. Thumbs, index fingers pointing forward. Exhale into your downward dog. Or if that's not available to you, reach your arms on the ground with the knees on the ground. Different options. And if you can only do like 1 or 2 downward dogs, come into that extended child's pose. Not everybody can do downward dogs for that long. Now walk your feet closer to your hands until the heels drop to the ground. Open the feet about a little bit less than the width of the mat, but wider than your hips. Bend your knees, belly rests between the thighs. Take your arms, just wrap them behind your legs just for a moment. Drop your head. And then release your hands to the ground. Straighten those legs. Take a pause here in a forward bend. Knees are bent or soft. If you have back issues, keep your knees bent. And if you have a desire, feel free to sway your hands or opposite hand to opposite elbow. You can sway from side to side, seeing if you can get as far to the left and then as far to the right without any discomfort. Let your head hang here. So looking for good. this is something that it's like looking for the diamond in the rough. It's so much. It's very hard. It's like, or the pearl. We see so much of the negativity. It's there in our face. It's our brain gravitates towards it. One more sweep around, and then come back to center. And then bend the knees, and I want you to let the arms just dangle here. So take a breath in, and as you breathe out, I want you to lift up, roll up, using your tummy muscles to lift up, your abdominal muscles. As you reach up, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lots of power in the tummy, in the lower back. Let's exhale, lower down. Let your head drop. And then rebend your knees. So squat. Take a breath in. We won't go faster this time. Rolling up, inhaling, and squeeze the shoulder blades, and exhale, come back into your squat. And then inhale, lift back up. This is a little faster than how sometimes we move. Exhale down, working these muscles. Now, if you feel your knees are beginning to hurt, don't come as far down. Maybe a little tiny squat. And one more time, this time we lower down, but we stay down in that squat. Sit back as if you're sitting on a chair. Now, some of us might be higher than me or even lower. Hands in front, at your heart, on the ground. And let's do a little bit of a pulse. If that hurts your knees, don't pulse, just hold. Squeeze your knees towards each other, strengthening these muscles. We can go deeper into yoga, our yoga practice, when we're stronger. Release the hands to the ground and then slowly roll all the way up, this time straightening your legs. Hands at your hips, take a pause here. If you need to loosen up those legs, do a little bit of a shake from side to side. Whatever shake feels good. Shoulders, are they starting to lift up? Relax them down. Powerful poses. Okay, step back to go to the back of your mat. Let's sweep your arms up to the sky. That's exhaling, forward fold. That's inhaling, walking your hands either to your downward dog or into that extended child's pose. This time, bring the feet together. Spread your fingers, pressing into the index finger, thumb, and the index finger is pointing forward. Your hands are like fans. Opening up your shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades down. All this important stuff. Walk your feet a little further back if you can. You can do this on your knees if you need to. And I want you to take your tailbone, lift it up as if there's a string attached to your tailbone. And then lean forward, hinge forward, but keep your bum up towards the sky. As if you're moving through a cow type stretch. And then exhale back into your downward dog. If you need to do this on your knees. Stretch forward. Knees don't have to be straight here. Until your shoulders and wrists are in line, and then press back. Tummy work, back work, shoulder. Lots of things happening here. Lift your tailbone. Your arms might be screaming. If you need a child's pose, take a child's. We're just doing one more. So take your child's pose or decide to come back or stay, wherever you might be. And then lift back up. And then lower the knees to the ground. Take a rest, a pause in child's pose. You can open the knees if you'd like. Let yourself settle here, forehead resting on something, whether it's the ground, preferably, or if you can't place your forehead down, make two fists with each hand. Place your forehead on the fists. Take a few breaths here, inhaling. And my head's up just because I'm teaching. and I have to speak. So the good. We always feel good once sometimes definitely when we're at the end of our class. But let's feel good, find good while we're in our class. Let's take a breath in. Let's come back into your tabletop. Let's just step our right foot forward. Bend our right knee, coming into your lunge. Inhaling, reaching your arms up to the sky. Opening up. And I'm going to swing around so you can see what we're going to do here. And you're going to twist over to the right leg. Place your left elbow on that right leg. Place your right hand on that left hand. Make a fist with that left hand, right hand on the fist, and twist. So you can stay right here, or more of a hip, to include the hip flexors, you can lean forward with that right knee. Opening up that left hip. Some of us you're saying, oh, I know, I can do this easily. You can lift up your back knee if you'd like. Curl those back toes under. That makes it a little bit more challenging. And then lower the hands to the ground. And then step your right foot back. And I'll swing around here. You can always do this from your downward dog if you prefer. Step your left foot forward and then come into your lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhaling, lifting up nice and tall in your lunge, taking your right elbow to the outside of that left arm. And make a fist with that right hand, left hand on the fist. Some people, they like to bring their hands together. Doesn't matter. This is just a little bit more of an intensive twist. And then if you want a little bit more of a hip flexor as well, lean forward with that left knee. Come a little deeper into the lunge. So I teach 5 days a week classes, daily, online live classes, every week. So if you're interested, visit my website at yogawithrebeccajane.com. I'll mention it again at the end. That's inhale, lift back up. It's nice to do things every day. It makes a difference for 30 minutes. And then lower the hands down, bring your left leg back, and then sit back into a child's pose, or if perchance you're really into the downward dog, go into a downward dog. Okay. If you're in a downward dog, feel free to come down onto your hands and knees now. So a little and often, this is how I teach my classes. Take 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 2.5 hours a week when you're finished. Come onto your forearms. Either interlace the hands a little bit easier, more supportive, or hands apart. Take your right leg back, left leg back into your plank. Now some of us that's not going to happen, so you're going to lower your knees down, maybe bring them a little closer in or further back, or lift the knees up. Legs are together in this one, squeezing together. You're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, take your tailbone, lengthen it down, and squeeze your legs and bottom cheeks together. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now, don't give up. If you need to take a break, then move into your child's. Otherwise, see if you can hold on a little bit longer. Hold on a little bit longer. Shoulder blades down your back. Little bit longer. You can do it. You're not doing this all day. It's only for like 30 seconds. And then lower the knees to the ground and then sit back. We will be practicing that over the next few weeks. Come all the way to bring the hands towards your knees, swing your legs forward. That is one of the best planks you can do. The hardest. the most all body strengthener. Slide your bottom to your heels and lower yourself onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Little rocks from side to side. Whew. Take your arms out to the sides like airplane wings. Drop your knees to the left. And turn your gaze to the right. So this is recorded live for my classes. This is a one take. So if there's mistakes, it's because it's live. Inhale the knees back up. You can hold these stretches longer. Feel free to take a longer preparation for your Shavasana. Bring your knees towards your forehead and round up like a little ball. Take the arms out to the sides. Take your knees and drop them to the right. All my classes are different. There's always a theme. It's thematic. Sometimes I bring yoga philosophy in. It's a week of yoga, but with physical practice included. Sometimes it's a physical challenge. It's a posture, doing some, more advanced, not advanced postures, but challenging ones. Knee towards, forehead towards knee. And extend your left leg to the left corner of the mat, right leg to the right corner of the mat. Let your arms rest to the sides. Lift your upper back off the ground. Slide the shoulder blades down. Then place it back down. Let everything just melt into the mat. Palms are facing up. Closing your eyes. Chin is slightly tucked. You're here for about 2 to 5 minutes. I will find my way up to seal the practice, and you continue on in your Shavasana. All my classes, I leave it like that because it's a shorter class and I want to get as much in, but I don't want you to skip the Shavasana. Make sure you always get it in. As I seal the practice for today, day 3 of our strength class. As I close my eyes, bringing my hands in front of my heart. I want to thank you for watching. And this has been Yoga with Rebecca Jane. And please do subscribe or give me a thumbs up, and please comment. Comments are really helpful. And join me next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Namaste. I'll see you soon.